Ready, friend?
I wish we had a third person who could, like, make
I know.
like a list sway to our sweet tunes.
I wonder if I can do both. Dominant hand.
Hello, dominant hand.
Hello, dominant hand.
Hello.
1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Adventure time.
Ready? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Adventure time. Come grab your friends. We'll go to the very distant land. We take the dog and build the human. The fun will never end. Adventure time.
I broke. I couldn't help myself. Irene. Hi.
Hello. We don't just talk about each other. Talky about each other for fun.
We're gonna do our pet peeve.
We are
today. I hate it when you're doing a performance, and I did this once, and I hated myself for it. The time when I unwrapped a throat lozenge.
Oh, yeah.
I hate it when I'm standing there about to start singing and one person in the audience, if you're listening to a CD of a chorus performing something or an orchestra or anything, a band, anything, and you hear one person either open candy.
This is not okay. And no matter how quiet you think it is, everyone can hear it. Also, we can hear all your crying children. If your children can't behave for extended amounts of time and appreciate the art of classical music, then you should not be bringing them. Just get a babysitter. I remember a concert a couple years ago that I went to that the choir was singing one of my all-time favorite pieces. And at the climax of the piece, a baby screamed. And the parents didn't, like, they just, like, pretended it wasn't their kid. Which also, other pet peeve. What was that? I'm not even gonna go there because that's self-explanatory.
I mean, it's so disrespectful when you have worked
an entire semester.
Maybe an entire semester or maybe years on something. Like when operas are performing, people, they got the performance together within 3 months. But those people have probably worked on those arias for years and years. And this might be their debut. And because of one person, baby, child, adult, whatever.
Not only it even goes beyond the recording. Like their entire concentration in the piece is potentially distracted because you couldn't open your throat lozenge during intermission.
Similar to when people take pictures.
Yeah. Flashes are distracting.
If it's a professional, it's one thing, because we know that they're going to be there.
They don't run around with flashes while you're performing. They aren't like your parents or other people's parents, whoever, in the front row, in the middle of a piece, being like, hey, buddy! Hey! Snap!
If you're watching a performance, imagine yourself up there and think about what you would like your audience to do. Would you prefer them to sit there and watch you with respect and care and knowledge that you put your heart and soul into it, or would you prefer them to sit out there doing this and then also
and then you know, there's the whole late family of 8 people who's got to come in the middle of a piece because some usher wasn't paying attention in some obscure corner of the auditorium, and they've got to all walk in and bring down their seats as they wrestle with their 8 million bags past people who are trying to watch the performance.
That happened in my senior recital in high school. I don't blame my friend who came in because he didn't know about
also, people texting. We can see your phones light up from stage, man. There's a reason they shut off the lights.
That's why they ask you to turn the phones off.
And it's not so that you can see your screen brighter.
Turn them off because I guarantee you it's safer. A, because, you won't be tempted to text, but also you won't receive anything, including phone calls, which may or may not be audible because you may or may not have turned off your sound.
And that goes for when you're at church, too. Just FYI, turn off your phones in church. If you're in church to text people and to take phone calls, you shouldn't be in church.
Also,
like, you need to get your priorities in order for church, if that's your thing.
When there are adults in the audience who have children and the children are acting up and they don't take their children out of the room, That drives me nuts, especially when there's a sermon going on or a musical performance. If you don't think it's not going to affect them, then you are oblivious, because we absolutely hear everything. We're more audio prone, so if we don't have to see the kid. That's not the problem. If we hear something, it throws us off.
Although if the kid's in back going like, yeah! That is also a concern.
I'll be sitting up in the balcony for my church job, and I love my church job so much, and I love the people in it. But when I'm hearing a sermon being
preached.
Well, it's being preached, but it's so profound and moving and strong, and you hear
in the congregation.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm a Christian person, but that being said, I don't even think Jesus would have wanted that sitting in the audience. In fact,
Jesus would have been all like, quiet, my child, and the child would be like...
The whole point of having a youth ministry and having child daycare at the church is so that those children are taken care of.
And not only that, that they get Sunday schooling that's appropriate for their age. That's something that they can focus on, that's designed for them to be able to learn and for them to be able to, you know, grow deeper in their faith as a child. There's just a lot of facets. But if your kid is screaming, just don't forget, yeah, you're trying to teach your kid that, like, you're not going to give in to every whim that they have. I get that. But there are other people who are trying to deepen their faith. So it's kind of hard when people aren't respectful of that, you know? Or if you are like stage whispering a conversation with like your husband or wife or your sibling or your aunt or whatever, we can all hear you. Churches are generally designed to be acoustically friendly. We can all hear you. Just the way it is.
Fact of life.
So
complicated. So complicated. So frustrated.
Good morning or afternoon. Yes. The sun is up, the birds are chirping.